So I'm here to show you guys my fantasy football draftrankings.com drafting tool. I use this tool to make sure I draft the perfect team every time. Fantasy football is a lot of fun, but I always want to make sure I win. And one of the ways to do that is to make sure I'm drafting the right team given what I believe in terms of the players. So how this tool works is you put in your draft rankings on each of the respective pages. You can adjust them based on the baselines, which are valuations I create at the beginning of the season, beginning of the draft fantasy football season, I should say. And then it creates a value-based ranking. And it does that by you giving it starters, saying how many players you're starting in your league. And it basically says the baseline is the value of a replacement level starter. So in this case, it'd be the 36 running back for the 24th wide receiver. That's the bar. So given all that, it takes the number of teams, obviously, to create that baseline. And then it comes with a value added base points. Excuse me, let me catch up real quick. So it comes up with value-based points. And then basically the only thing this tool does is it says, given your position and given what you're projecting in terms of your draft order, which is right here, it's telling you where the biggest drop every round, no matter where you are. So basically it is doing an optimization saying what is the best pick you can make given what you believe will happen. Oops. Let me update this real quick. Let's see, the best pick I can make right now is Stephen Ridley. It's important to look at the right round to do different number of picks between each round. Draft Stephen Ridley. Boom. So what it's doing is obviously telling me that. And let me undo this real quick. So one of the other things I'll point out is you can look at the other positions to see how big the trade-off is. So based on my projections, this is a pretty significant drop-off. I mean, it's not huge, but a 6-point difference between Ridley and Brandon Marshall, the next best receiver. I mean, a huge drop-off in QB and a huge drop-off in tight end. So, given what I believe, it would be very suboptimal for me to pick any one of those positions. So this is how you make sure you have the best draft. You're doing this every round, and you're essentially picking up those extra points because you're not making a suboptimal decision. You're making the best possible decision, and that will make sure that you have the best team come the end of the day based on what your draft rankings are. And the best way to find that out is by looking within the tool, because it has a functionality in here where it's ranking your team based on your rankings. So right now I'm the third best, and obviously it's only the second round, and I had the 6th pick, so I'm obviously already moving up my own draft boards. And this is what it does. It's saying, hey, my RB1 is Spiller, and now Ridley, and this guy has got AP, and, you know, it goes on and on and on for every different team. It's basically comparing you to the team. It's not that useful till you get later in rounds and everyone has most of their team filled out. But once you do, it's great to know. And it's also a great way to check to make sure that your team is as good as it could possibly be given your rankings. Because that's really all you can ask for. No one's perfect at projections, but as long as you're average or above average in your projections, you can win your league with this tool because you'll be making optimal decisions at the draft when everyone else will not. So it may think Steven Jackson or Maurice Jones-Drew is a great value this year, and they may love Jimmy Graham too, but they'll never know who to take mathematically without this tool or something that works just like this. So that's why I've had a ton of success with this tool. It's my my 4th year doing it. My first year really putting it in public. Ooh, sounds a tough name. So that's what it is. You just go through here, update it. It updates everything for you. Tells you to pick. Like right now, Cam Newton is supposed to fall to me. It's probably not going to fall to me. Well, 30th. It's going to be very, very close. It's going to put Matt Ryan before. Wow, that's stupid. So it's either going to be Cam Newton or Jimmy Graham, which I'm pretty happy about. I'm saying Jimmy Graham because he's up here. Gronk is one of the things that keeps me through. Because with the recent news about Gronk's injury, I moved him up. The drop off between him and Jimmy Graham is small. So it's Cam Newton. Cool. Is it possible Jimmy Graham might have been taken? That is insane. I'm guessing my thing's going to tell me that. I've drafted with this tool enough times to have a good idea what's going to come. But that's the other thing I would suggest is make sure you practice with this tool because it'll let you know names you don't know and get you used to typing in these names and moving along. Because really, you don't want to get in your draft the first time. I mean, it's pretty user friendly. I try to make this user friendly as possible. But you don't want to get in your draft for the first time and be trying to figure out how to use this tool. So make sure you practice. You do need to make sure you get the cadence down. Point out is as you draft, so like right now, I have 2 running backs. I'm going to lower the power of running backs to 0.75. It's basically saying, well, let me see what it's right out. It's basically saying, hey, I have 2 running backs. I don't want to value them as much. So take the VBD, multiply it by 0.75, and really for a running back to pop right here, they're going to be much better than the wide receiver or whatever other position it is. Yeah, Jimmy Graham got taken. So and it's a little bit harder for me because I'm trying to talk and do all this at the same time as well as draft. So oh gosh. So that sucks. But that can happen when you're trying to multitask too much. Pretty big on Reggie Wayne though. It actually told me to take Gronk. So let me move Gronk. That's another advantage too. This is, so I have the Q, so I'm going to put Monte Ball up here too. One of the things you don't want is you don't want what just happened to me. Like I didn't select Gronk. So that's a huge drop off. So by selecting myself, this is what most people do. I essentially cost myself over a point per game. I may still get Gronk given what his ADP is. But it's going to be close. I mean, he's 54 on the board. I don't know how much people are aware of the news. So it's there, but I don't know if people are going to be drafting him. So we'll see. Could all work out. Someone just took Vernon Davis over that is retarded. That's also scary because it could start a run. So pretty disappointing, but it goes to show you like how valuable this tool can be. Because I didn't have my rankings up to date, I missed out on essentially a point per game, which in VBD is pretty significant. Granted, it's not guaranteed, but particularly with Gronk, I'm really excited to get him because later in the year, that is going to be way more than a point per game. It's a point per game now because, wow, I'm not even going to trust those names. Fuck. And someone took him just before me. So I made a huge mistake. And hopefully you won't make as long as you have this tool. I'm going to draft Monte Ball. Oh, sorry. Then call him Kaepernick. This is an error on my part. What I need to do is zero out QBs. I almost never zero out and say no because I don't want to show them. It's saying Tony Gonzalez is who I should take. Tony Gonzalez is drafted 57, so I'll take him. But that is a huge difference between him and Gronk. So that's how the fantasy football drafting tool works. As you can see at the bottom, I've moved up to number 2. Compared to another team has Tom Brady AP, so slightly different mix of players, but you can see by the end, typically you're either number 1 or 2. You're optimizing this essentially to your own rankings. Sorry. The thing is, caught off guard. Actually, need a wide receiver. Jordan Nelson. He's not. Crap. I'm going to rash off my flex position too far off my rankings, but I'm obviously not going to be able to keep up with this and talk through this. But thanks for following for the brief time I was able to show it to you, and good luck in your drafts. Again, you can find this on fantasyfootballdraftrankings.com. Thanks.